Good evening. Simple Life Philosophy here. Today I wanted to share with you a really cool idea that I ran into today. Somebody mentioned it to me, a little shift in psychology, and I thought it was so interesting. I had never heard it before, and I thought I should share it with you guys. So, it's very simple. It's instead of how you spend your time, shift that psychology and that verbiage to how you invest your time. The currency of your life. How are you investing the currencies of your life? And there's several different currencies in life. There's time, effort, money. Um, and those are really kind of the big three. But there are some other minor ones. But focusing in on those, it's important to think about when we think about life as spending it sounds almost frivolous, like wasting your time. I just spend my time doing this, or I spend my time doing that. The way that you would spend money instead of investing money. And so this is a shift in psychology, which I think is helpful to refocus your efforts in those areas where you're spending the currencies of your life or where you're investing the currencies of your life. At the end of the day, you only get so much currency in your life, whether it's money, time, or effort. And those can shift. You can get more money. You can give things more effort. You can never get more time. You only have so much time, and time and effort together are actually converted into money. That's where your money comes from. However much time you're giving somebody else or a business or whatever it is, and how much effort you're giving that thing. How good are you at it? What is your skill level at it? And the higher your skill level goes, not necessarily less effort is needed, but your effort goes farther as your skill level increases. So I really liked this shift in psychology. Somebody had mentioned to me today, how are you investing your time? What are you investing your time in? Are you just spending your time frivolously, doing things that won't matter in the future, that will not grow you and make you a stronger, wiser individual? Or are you investing your time? Are you investing your effort into things that will gain strength and snowball into the future, that will level you up to make you a better person, to make you a more useful person, to make you a stronger community member in the communities you're in? Investing implies a compounding effect on the things you're doing, on the efforts you're making. Whereas spending implies an effect of loss. When you spend your time on things, you're kind of losing that. When you spend your money on things, you're losing that over time. Whereas when you're investing into something, you may not always get the return right away, but in the future, those efforts are going to compound. And a little change now will give you a larger change in the future, kind of like the boat that gets off course or a boat changing course. A little change now, a 10% course correction now, in investing your time and your efforts in the right ways is going to give you a much bigger return in the future when it compounds. So this, and this is a small course correction. And it's not that you have to change all your language or anything like that, but it's that this shift in your psychology from how am I spending my time? How am I going to spend my money? How will I spend my efforts? How will I expend my efforts? To how can I invest in my skill sets for the future? How can I invest my time for the future? How can I invest my efforts towards something that will compound over time rather than spending my efforts into something that really isn't going to compound and it's just going to stay flat or maybe even take you down over time. So I thought this was a really cool shift in psychology. Something to consider and think about. And the minute I heard it, investing your time rather than spending your time, my mind immediately went in 10 different directions, thinking about how this shift in psychology could help me increase the value of myself, increase the value that I'm giving myself, increase the value that I'm giving other people around me through this compounding effect over time of increasing my skills, making the world around me a better place, a more stable place, so that my efforts are less taken down by maintenance issues in my life or everyday things in my life, and I can spend more time working on the skill sets that I want to compound. Investing your time versus spending your time. Definitely a good shift in psychology and something to think about. And if you've never heard this idea before, like I hadn't, maybe it will spark that same influence in you that it sparked in me, where suddenly I began to think about the world a little differently. I began to think about my life a little differently. In fact, I thought about the day differently. How would I use the day if I was investing the time in myself and investing the effort in myself, rather than if I'm just spending the time or if I'm just spending the effort? And what is the correct word there? Frivolous is what comes to mind. When you're spending your time and spending your effort, it is frivolously. It has a more frivolous connotation, a more wasteful connotation. It lacks the compound interest connotation that investing your time has. So I really like this idea of investing our time and our efforts over, which will compound, over spending our time and our efforts, which will frivolously go away. And then we start over the next day spending our time again, instead of compounding each day through investing one day into the next, and 1 and 2 days into a week, and a week's worth of time into a month, and so on and so forth, where your skills compound over time. And truly that is kind of the trick of things, that, and it sounds so trite to say, but practice makes perfect. And it actually took me a long time to do this. I'm somebody who likes to try a lot of different things. And it wasn't until I started focusing my efforts on things that I started to see more than a superficial return. I started to see efforts compounding over time, where I would become better and better at a skill, rather than just learning the basics of a skill and then flatlining and staying at that level, at that plateau. hope this idea helped you out the way it helped me out. I found it very interesting. Investing your time versus spending your time. Tell me what you think down in the comments. What are you investing your time into? Where do you waste and spend your time? What kind of shift would it make in your psychology if you thought of everything as an investment for better or worse? Are you investing in bad habits that will take you down? Are you investing in good habits that will compound over time and make you a more useful individual to the community around you and a more valuable individual to the community around you? I hope you enjoyed it. God bless.